Hey, this is Allie Edwards and welcome to day 9 of December Daily for 2017. Today I am working on the back of yesterday, which ended up being a enlarged photo of the outside of my house. And then today, the story that I am ending up wanting to tell is a story about Simon and Chris working at a Christmas tree lot. Simon's Boy Scout troop has a Christmas tree lot, and for the last couple of years, the two of them have been going and helping to sell Christmas trees there a few times during December. And so I asked both Chris and Simon last night if they would send me a picture or take some pictures or do something. And so they had one of their customers take a picture of the two of them together, which I loved. And so I wrote up a story about that and printed out the big photo first. So again, I'm just printing, I crop them first and then I print them on 8.5 by 11 photo paper, and then I print it, and then I'm gonna just adhere it to the back of this and punch the holes. Now this is gonna go with this page over here. So this page was all done in advance as part of my foundation pages and as part of my product play workshop. So I showed how I went through the process of creating this strip of hearts. Originally I had a card in here that says morning, afternoon, and evening, but I'm gonna pull that one out and just go ahead and use the journaling that I did. And I decided to do it on black, which I kind of liked that it was, you know, the dark of the picture here. Did that on black with white. I printed this on photo paper. You can print it on whatever kind of paper you want, but sometimes I do journaling cards on photo paper. It's just, like I said, it's kind of up to you. I like the black that really comes through from when you do it on photo paper, so that was what I decided to do. So story again is just about them working at the Christmas tree lot there. I'm adding the Holly Jolly chipboard right there, chipboard banner that is off of the main kit chipboard set. It was right there. And then I'm gonna pair that with a few circle embellishments and a heart embellishment here over on the photo itself. And I think I'm gonna adhere the photo to the other side first. The embellishments that I picked out to play with are a number 9 here from the cork set, the joy cork piece, the moments. I liked that went along with the chipboard piece that I picked. And then I also knew that I wanted to add a heart on here, a gold foil heart that would go along with these hearts that I have on the other side. So I have a nice visual triangle of gold chipboard hearts across the two pages. Totally love how this one is ending up. But I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this on the back first and then decide where I am going to, where exactly I'm gonna add those embellishments onto the photo itself. So let's pull that out. Okay, so again, this is just 2 photos that are gonna end up being adhered back to back, and they become their own page in the album. I've had a couple of questions as I've been showing these about what kind of photo paper I use. I generally use Epson, the ultra premium glossy photo paper. I can't always get that, so sometimes I just use the premium glossy photo paper, but that's been fine with me. And it's also been fine working on the Canon printer that I have. So in the past, I've always been like, you know, you should use the paper that goes along with your printer, and I still believe that to probably be a good general rule, but I have not been having any issues at all using the Epson paper on the Canon printer. Then I'm just gonna trim off the excess. I don't know where my big scissors are, so I'm just gonna use these little scissors to kind of even this up here. And as most of you guys know, this is not a major, like I don't worry that much about these kinds of edges and stuff. I feel like that's just kind of part of having this hand done project, and part of what goes along with having things outside of the page protectors too, is that this isn't, we're not trying to make it perfect. Like if you want it to be totally perfect, probably a photo book is a better option for you, because this is a by hand endeavor. I'm gonna use the 6 hole punch here. I'm just gonna slide those in there and line up the holes with the previous page. and punch. And because I have the bottom off, the things go everywhere, and I just swipe them on the floor, and then I will sweep them up later. All right, so then I'm gonna want to look at what this is gonna look like in the album itself, and then decide where I want to add these. I liked the wood veneer on here just because it's trees, like because they were working on trees. I thought that was cool. And then I think that I'm not sure where yet I want to put this. I'm thinking down here a little bit. I also think that I want to trim off the edge there potentially. And I'm thinking that I want to just kind of add these in here in some way or another, like as a little cluster, but I'm not exactly sure. I kind of don't like that I have these two cork pieces, so maybe I'll see what other number 9 options I have. And then I kind of like just the heart sitting up a little bit on its own there. And this is gonna go off the edge too. Let me see what other number options I have, because I do want to add that cork joy on there. Let me check out my numbers and then I'll pop back on here. Okay, so I have these number circles here. These were included in or they were an optional purchase. I believe there was a set that were red and white and then green and white. And I wanted to have a little bit of dimension, so I'm gonna use a glue dot here for this number 9. And I'm gonna adhere it onto the wood veneer piece there with the star. Just gonna kind of layer it on right in the middle. And then I do want to trim off a little. I want this thing to go off the edge a little bit. So maybe I'll just adhere it down on there first and then find my bigger scissors to trim off just a little bit on the edge. So there's my number 9. And then I want the joy to go on there, and then I want moments to go on there too. And I kind of like, let's see, figure out what I want to do with these. And what do I want to be on the top? Maybe like that. Okay. So I'm gonna pull off the adhesive on this one, and I'm gonna slip it underneath that foam dot, or the rolling it, or the glue dot gave it just enough of a lift right there. And then I think I want this one to go over top of those. So I'm gonna get out another glue dot and use that on top. Sometimes with these projects and albums, as you guys have probably seen, you know, they can get really, really thick, which is fine. I mean, that's part of what's fun about, I think, playing with the dimensional sorts of stuff. But you also, the things that are outside of the page protectors like this, you gotta be a little bit careful, I think, with how they get adhered down. And sometimes, you know, if I was doing this where it was just the photo page itself, I would probably be at it, you know, kind of going around the edge. But because this is getting paired with this whole other thing that's already going on over there, I think I'm more prone to just having things over in the corner here is kind of what I'm thinking. But I can always change my mind. So let's see, I guess I want that to be up on the top of those for this little cluster of stuff. So I'm gonna add this on there, and I'm wanting this to be a little bit more to this side. And I may need to add something underneath there that's gonna pop it up. So it might need a little bit of one foam dot, like one of these really small foam dots. And even like with that foam dot, it can go, I can have it be underneath there without pulling the adhesive off the bottom part of it. Now it's getting stuck to the glue dot, of course. There we go. Okay, so now let's take a look at it before I figure out where I'm gonna put that heart. I still think I'm gonna cut this wood piece off along the edge, but like I said, I need to find my other scissors. So initially I was thinking just like up right up here, but maybe I want to add it, you know, by their heads or on top there, no, or maybe just right here. Like I feel like I want it separated a little bit, but maybe I don't. I mean, maybe now that where I'm kind of getting it in here, maybe it could just be another little cluster piece that goes in there. Actually, that probably is fine, but then I feel like I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of, I'm always counting up stuff. Maybe I want one other little heart or something that's on there, and then I feel like this is like too much of a bunch. There. Okay, I'm gonna cut off the edge and then see how I feel. Okay, so I trimmed off the edge and I used some of these Tim Holtz scissors. It doesn't matter, but I mean, you can cut, the wood veneer cuts pretty easily. All right, maybe I'm gonna take this out so that I can, feels distracting to look at that spread with the other stuff there. I'm looking at adding a, you know, so one of the things you can see what I'm doing here is I am being conscious of the spread as a whole. That's one of the things, right? So I am feeling like, number one, I need to have a heart over here. So there needs to be a heart somewhere. I pulled out the word phrase sticker bundle because I was thinking, well, maybe I can add some sort of, you know, another thing over here. And then I was thinking, well, maybe it could go on top of the heart, just this idea of traditions, and that maybe this could go right here. Like it just needed, or maybe it'll go right here. Something that's on, that's actually works okay, because I like the idea that it's moving over into this area. You know, it's kind of bringing your eye this way. It's a little bit separate from this little grouping, but still, you know, kind of tucked in there. So these are the crazy things that go on in my head as I'm thinking about this stuff. And I'm crazy as the self-proclamation. So there's a look. I think I'm happy with that. I like how that turns out. I'm wondering if there was any other, I think that that's probably good enough. I could add another, like another one of these word stickers maybe. Even the one that says like volunteering, because that's what they were doing. So maybe this could come over here and add on, kind of again, finding some other little, maybe I'll add that on there. Just as enough, I don't know if I want 3 of them, though I kind of like the idea that I would add, let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna trim this off just a little bit, because it felt a little bit too thick. Maybe if there's one other one that I can add to that other star up there, then I will feel good about the fact that it feels like I have 3. And I can go kind of at an angle there. Like that. Okay, I can't do it at an angle, that bothers me. I gotta have it straight. Let's see. So, volunteering, and then, and now I want to staple it on there because I want it, I like the idea of having these things that are similar. So there's that one. It's not totally straight. And then maybe one more of these. Just looking here and seeing which one I could, I want to use one of these green ones. Maybe celebrating. Maybe I'll just cut off the celebrating. Or maybe the way we do it. I kind of like that one because that's a good thing related to this story too, I think. So with the stickers, you know, don't forget that you can trim them down whenever, you know, if you want to, based on what you want. Okay, that is kind of big for that heart, but that's okay. Kind of like that it crosses over on there, and then I'm going to staple that just like I did the other ones. So I like a couple things. One is that I like the idea that, you know, I made this heart, the heart strip in advance as part of my foundation pages and as part of my for the product play class, but I like also that I can make it, personalize it for this particular story as well. So, okay, well, I'm happy with how that one turned out. So I am gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today, and I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow.